So, you just pulled insert character name here from Genshin Impact, and you just want a quick cheat sheet on how to build them. Well, you've come to the right place, because this is a Google Doc made by the lovely Genshin community, where they list all the characters' builds, and just they're quick how to get started with them, basically. So we're gonna navigate through this guide, and I'm gonna show you guys how to read most of the stuff in here. So it is organized by element. So if you want to find your character, look for the element. Obviously, Dendro is not listed here yet because this video was made before Sumeru. So once that's added to the game, I'm sure there will be a nice Dendro section right here. So we're gonna go to the Pyro section, and you can already see they have like list of characters here. And we're gonna scroll down to Diluc, and there's a reason for that. And it's not because he has an event going on, but maybe. Anyways, so this is the Diluc section of the Pyro guides. And we're gonna zoom in just like a tiny bit. So they're gonna have the character from left to right, and they're gonna have their preferred role, and it's gonna have a star next to their best role. Obviously, Diluc can't really be a support or an off-field DPS, so he is just used for a main DPS here. To the right of that, we have their weapons, their best weapons for them. To the right of that, we have their artifact sets. So the best one here is going to be Crimson Witch of Flames. But if you don't have access to that domain yet, let's say you're like new-ish, or you still haven't gotten there yet, then Gladiator's Finale is probably going to be your best bet until you can get some good Crimson Witch Flame artifact pieces. Then to the right of that, it tells you the main stats that you should be looking for on the Sands, Goblet, and Circlet. If you're new, Plume and Flower artifact pieces cannot change their main stat. It's always going to be flat attack and flat HP. Substats. These are the substats that you're going to be looking for when you do get your artifacts. So obviously for him, you're going to want crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and then elemental mastery, or EM for short. And even tells you in parentheses here, they have like little notes: higher priority if you're in a vaporize or a melt comp. If you don't know what that means, just leave it alone for now and just focus on getting crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage. If you do get EM, awesome. And then some energy recharge is always nice. Talent priorities: normal, his normal attack first, then his skill, and then his burst. It's pretty self-explanatory there. He also has an added note here where, depending on how many constellations you have for your Diluc, his elemental skill can take a higher priority than normal attack to give you more damage. Now, the reason I picked Diluc is because he's one of the, not few, but there are quite a number of characters in Genshin that have an optimal combo, and this happens to be his. And if you're on console or if you're on mobile, this might look really weird to you, so I'm gonna try to explain the lettering. All right, so we have Q, N2, and then E, and then it just repeats: N2E, N2E. What does that mean? Q means your elemental burst, because that is the button you press on keyboard to activate any character's elemental burst. Then the N2 means normal attack twice. So on PC controls, that means left click, and then the E is the button you press to do your elemental skill. And that's basically the combo. So you do your burst if you have it to start, then you do normal attack into your skill, then repeat normal attack into your skill. I'm just trying to explain some of the lettering, because I know it's going to be a little confusing to newer players and just not PC players as well. So we're gonna move to Klee real fast because she also has a combo and like other notations that weren't in Diluc's. So for Klee, she has N1C and N2C. So you know from the previous combo that means normal attack 1, and then C means charge attack in this case. So you do left click, hold, and that's her combo. Or if you're doing this one, left click, hold. I don't know what the controls are for console or mobile since I don't play on those platforms, but you can apply those to those platforms, these combos to those platforms as well. Then we're gonna move on to Hu Tao. Hu Tao, they actually explain the lettering here a little bit more. but I'm just gonna explain it to you just in case. So we have for Hu Tao, if at C0, you're gonna do N2CJ. What does that mean? That means you're gonna do 2 normal attacks into charge, and then you're going to jump cancel. What does that mean? So you're gonna when Hu Tao does a charged attack, she kind of does like it's like a dash, right? What you're looking for is as soon as you see the damage apply from her charge attack, you're gonna hit the spacebar, or you're just gonna jump as soon as you can to cancel the rest of the dash, to save you time and to allow you to keep doing the combo again and again for more damage. Once you have her at C1, you don't have to do the jump anymore. That's why the J turns into a D. So instead of, you do the same combo, right? So you do left click, hold, wait for the damage to apply on her charge. And then instead of jumping, you're going to press shift or sprint to cancel. That's your dash. And then you repeat the combo again. That's basically what this means. And something I forgot to mention in the when you're looking at characters is like these huge paragraphs at the bottom half. These are just extra notes as to why some things are listed at the position that they're in. So like, why is the Red Thorn Stone Thresher the top spot? And it even tells you this weapon will fall off considerably, excuse me, when strong attack buffs are not present, but it's still a top tier option, similar to the weapons ranked directly below. So it's not actually the, #1 weapon. Depending on what team you're running, you could still have a Serpent Spine and still get good results with Diluc, a Wolf's Gravestone, etc, etc. So be sure to read these when you're looking at characters to understand a little bit more about why they are listed the way they are, or like why are we looking for a certain stat on elements and on artifacts and stuff. One more thing I want to mention is that not all characters have like an in-depth guide. So if you read through all this and like you want to know more about the character, or you're just, you just thought that wasn't enough info, click on the little in-depth guide located below the character's image and you'll be taken to, depending on the content creator providing the guide. So this one's KQM. They make excellent guides, by the way. And you will have as much information as you will ever need about Diluc ever. You have everything from combos. It even has videos. So if my explanation of how his combos works was confusing, you can see what they look like here. You can even see, talks more about artifacts, but Diluc isn't a character that has a lot of artifact flexibility. Right now it talks about the stats you should be looking for. Here's more detailed information on what weapons work for him. There's even teams that work for him, the pros and cons of each team. So you have your vaporized team, you have your melt teams, and so on and so on. And that is pretty much it for going over this guide. I hope it was helpful. Keep in mind that a lot of the content creators on this Google Doc aren't like, they don't have access to like these characters early on. So when a new character gets released, please give them some time to update the guides accordingly. Like, we know there's going to be a bunch of new Denjo characters and everyone's going to be like, how do I build them? How do I build them? Well, you got to give these people time to figure that out. You got to let them test out all these different weapons. Maybe there's new artifact sets for them. And that, that just takes time and just learning how to play the character. Give them a couple days, maybe up to a week till you start seeing guides for them. But yeah, you can also see, here's an example of a character with more than one role. So you can have Jin Yan as a DPS, and then you can see the star is next to her, or next to the DPS and not near support, but you can still build her as a support for the shield. And there's even sub DPS and then shield support. So there's tons of information here. Hopefully this helps some of the newer players in Genshin Impact if you're building, if you're trying to build a certain character, or better yet, this is a great reference guide when you're building multiple characters, right? Because trying to memorize what artifacts go to which character, which weapons they want, and all the substats for them, it can be a lot, right? So having it all in one place is neat. If you have any questions about this, Google Doc or anything in general, just feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.